Hey, it's episode 723 of today's Antidote, and we're talking this week all about finding your gifts. It's been a really fascinating discussion. We've gone places that I didn't think we'd go. We've done things and talked about things. We've talked about my guitar playing. Today, we're going to compress it all into one nice, neat little package with our discoveries of the week. Maybe you had an amazing discovery this week around this or something else. Take a moment and think about it while Tom plays the introduction. We will be right back.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Bob. How are you doing today?
I'm good. And folks, if you were watching our Thursday episode and you're going, these guys don't change clothes, we actually do not. It's something we do for discovery. No, we actually do change clothes. We're recording this episode because Tom has a big commitment and he's hopping on a plane, right?
I am. Yes, I am.
Heading to the warm Tampa area. I'm
heading
jealous.
to warm Florida, Tampa, Florida. Yes, actually, in about an hour or so, I'll be in the air. So
okay, all right. Well, got safe travels.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Is that an hour Thursday time or an hour Friday time?
And an hour Friday time.
Okay.
From when this is going live. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Will you be listening to this and watching this in the airport?
Maybe. Depends on what time I get there and when I get through, security and all that stuff. So we'll see.
I don't think I told you one time we've recorded an episode and I was listening to it while I was waiting for someone at a coffee shop, and someone behind me, they had a chair right behind me, and so they could hear. And I'm doing my thing, and then the person comes and I start talking, and the guy's like, "You sound just like the guy in that thing you were listening to." It's a damn good thing.
That's right. That was me. Funny, and you should say that.
Yeah. So
anyhow, all right, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Bob's favorite show of the week. We're going to dive into our discoveries of the week in just a minute. So we have a conversation each week, and around a topic. This week's topic is about finding your gifts, as Bob mentioned in the opening. And today we're going to, as I said, share those discoveries of the week. As we go through that conversation, if you have thoughts or ideas that you would like to share or a discovery that you have, please feel free to share them in the comments of whatever social media you happen to be following us on, whether it is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Yes, LinkedIn Live, baby. Because we welcome those thoughts and ideas because we know it'll add value to our show. And at the conclusion of the show, or as a part of it, Bob and I will share what we discovered this week as we talked about finding your gifts. And of course, you can share them with us here, or you can go inside one of our groups where there will be a post and you can share your discovery of the week around this topic or something else that you discovered. Because we know that a lot happens in a week, and there are other things that you want to share. Some of the gifts that you've discovered, you can start to share with others.
It's also nice to put it down on paper, Tom. To document it in some way. I know that each week I try to have a discovery, and the task of writing it out makes it stick in my brain like, oh, that really is something. I'm glad I noted that. And I think
you write it out on paper, or do you type it on the computer?
I often write it out on paper in my journal, and then we'll convert it into our thing. I'm trying every week to really be focused on what I've discovered about myself, about my business, about my customers, because I think we do a lot of that in our mind.
Sure.
But there's a lot of neurological research that they've done. And when we write something out, especially the tactical, taking a pen and paper, a pencil and paper, it fires different neurons. And that changes how our brain processes. So rather than just seeing or hearing or thinking about something, it's another pathway. So it actually, they think it causes things to stick better. That's why if you're taking a test in college or high school, write out what you're supposed to be, the questions and the answers, write out the answers to the stuff because it'll start to stick in your brain.
Good to know. I guess that's why we did
One of my little gifts. I know a little neuroscience, not a whole lot, but a little.
Well, more than I do. So, all right. So, before we dive into that conversation, though, even though Bob sort of started it, we share our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I am celebrating all the great people in our Renegade group in Facebook and our growing group in LinkedIn. I don't say it enough, but these are great people. They write great comments. They write likes for quotes. And it's really a robust community. And if you're not a part of it, I can't encourage you enough to get in there and really see what's going on. It's really a powerful opportunity. I've met some awesome people. And I've learned some really interesting things. And, everything from someone who posted something, we had a post last week about what would be the thing that would most drive your business towards the end of the year. The one thing you have to get done by December 31st, I think. And someone posted something. We hadn't seen him in a while. I hadn't talked to him. I was like, wow, that's really great. And the progress that he had gone through to get to that, really nice. So I think it's really, I can't say how much I enjoy that community. It's become a real fraternity for me. It's a place where I go. I try to look at it a couple times a day. And I always find inspiration, support, and sometimes some really good humor in there.
Excellent. Yes, I would agree.
How about you?
So I'm celebrating that today. I will serve as a clinician.
Today, Friday.
Today,
Yes.
Friday, as a clinician at a lacrosse clinic, officiating clinic. Something that I've helped people with their craft. I've answered questions. I've given feedback, thoughts, and ideas, never in a formal clinic setting. So today I get to share the value that I have, the gifts that I have in that area with others who are trying to work on their game and take it to the next level. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to share my value in there in a formal way. And then Saturday, I get to watch them on the field. We're in the classroom on Friday. Saturday, we're on the field where I'll give them in-game feedback or post-game feedback and help them discover.
I was going to say in-game feedback sounds like you'd have like a microphone and headset, and that would just be a mess.
Nah, maybe a little halftime brief conversation.
Okay.
That might be it. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I'm celebrating the opportunity that I'll have to do that.
And you get to do it in a warm climate, so I'm jealous of that.
Correct. The last time I was out by a lacrosse field, I had as many clothes on as I can. I'm expecting that I'll be able to be shorts and short sleeves, which will be nice.
Oh, that sounds heavenly.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you have space in your suitcase for a really tall guy?
I don't have a suitcase that big. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And I think you weigh a little bit more than what you'd be a heavy package to deliver.
No one's ever called me a heavy package.
Yeah,
6'6" and about 200 pounds soaking wet with the 20-pound brick on me.
Well, that's heavier than the 60 pounds they allow.
Okay, there you go. Is that the amount? I didn't know that.
I think so.
Okay.
56 or 60, something.
The
like
things I learn on this program. Fascinating.
It's the value that the gift I have to share some things with you. So as we talk about our discoveries this week of finding your gifts, what are some of your thoughts around that, Bob?
I think the real thing that struck me was when we talked on Wednesday, I think it was, about my guitar playing. And I said, I'm not a very good guitarist. I think I used the word lousy to define my guitar playing. And then you kind of probed a little bit and you're like, well, hasn't anyone found value? And there's several groups of children that found my guitar playing really valuable in different contexts. One who's going through a tough time. She really enjoyed that I sang a song we were goofing about, and a group of kids that I made up a song for them, and they to this day probably could recite it for you and don't even know that it was just 3 simple chords and I just threw it together. So that thing that I'm not always thinking of as a gift resonated with them. And it really got me thinking about the idea that there are probably other things that I don't think are my gifts that other people have found to be a gift. And, everything from, I would not describe myself as a very patient person, but I've had 2 people tell me I'm really patient. And like one said, that it's really a gift how patient you can be. I was like, what? Me? Really? But in the situation they were in with me, they saw the gift. And that's the other thing that really is coming to the fore for me, is that finding our gifts isn't just finding what we can do really well, not the resume gifts, but it's the things in a situation where someone says, wow, that's really great. You know, like I was at the grocery store a couple weeks ago, and there was trash by where my car was. And I picked up the trash. There was a trash can like 2 feet away. Pick up the trash, throw it in the trash can. The guy comes over, he's walking by, and he's like, I love people that care about their environment. And to me, it's just a common sense thing to do. But to him, I'm giving this gift to the community. I'm just being who I am in life. And I think that's part of this. If you're going through your life doing the things that you do naturally and are just part of the fabric of what you are, I think other people may see them as gifts. And they may actually zero in on those gifts. You know, they're gifts like, you know, I've said to many people, and people are kind of surprised because I think they think I'm really good at asking questions. I'm like, yeah, I was with Tom, and Tom asked me really great questions. Like, really? Tom? Like, yeah, oh yeah. I don't know how he does it, but he knows exactly where to go with me and get me to find things I can't find otherwise. So they're like, wow, I didn't know that Tom was that. So that's the other thing. When we share our gifts with one person, they may share our gifts with someone else who needs it. And that's where the opportunities lie.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that was a huge part of, you know, the discoveries I had this week is that many times others see our gifts differently than we might see them. And, you know, and I think that consideration is really valuable as we try to figure out how to move forward. Something that we might not think we're really, quote unquote, good at might be something that somebody else really values in us and can really be beneficial. And I think so often we would discount that and not share that because we put a judgment on the gift and really don't consider it a gift. It's just something we do or something we like, or, you know, how many times have you heard, well, I just kind of dabble at this or that. Well, usually the things that we dabble at are the things that we love, we really enjoy doing. And I think so often because we have judged that as, you know, not being to the level that we would want to share it with someone, we don't. And I think that's the opportunity that I really discovered this week, is that, you know, if we can stop judging the gifts that we have, we're going to discover a whole lot more gifts. You know, if we just start looking at it as this is value that I have to share. And while it may or may not impact someone, there's a likelihood that it's going to have some impact on them. It's going to impact them differently. Yet I think so often we judge those things, and because of that, we don't share them. And I think that's unfortunate. You know, and I think that we have been given these gifts, for ourselves. And really, we've been given a gift so that we can share it with others. And, you know, I even used the word with you this week about being selfish. And I think that's a little harsh, although I think it's the point. If you think of it that way, you'll be like, well, wow, I never really thought of that as being selfish. I just thought about it as I wasn't very good at it. Well, you might be better at it than others. And they might be desperately just to take whatever little step you can help them take is going to move them along to a different point. I mean,
or you might inspire them, right? I mean, 100%. Maybe someone goes, wow, he's an old guy and he's playing guitar and he just started 10 years ago. Wow, there's hope for me, because I'm amazed how many guys I meet and talk about guitar and they're like, I've always wanted to learn to play guitar.
Yeah.
How did you do it? Yeah. It's like,
how do you find the time? How do you whatever? And I think that's, you know, and I think we've had this conversation on the show somewhere in the 723 episode. I was at a workshop, a full day workshop, actually a couple day workshop. And we were talking about our value around pricing.
Yeah.
You know, and someone said, well, a person next to me said, I don't think that I'm worth the value of what they're suggesting we charge. And, you know, I, for whatever reason, was feeling a little bold that day. And launched. I know, shocking, huh? and I just shared with them, I was like, well, if you know something more than someone else and you don't share it, I even said the word. I said, some might consider that selfish. You've been given this gift and you are choosing not to share it because you've judged it and judged it not to be worthy. And of course, the person, it was a woman, and she started crying. I was like, oh, great. Way to make a good impression.
Now the person who was a woman started crying. I think guys cry too.
Yes. So, anyhow. So I
cried last night if the Bills lost to the Patriots, right?
Regular season, I probably wouldn't have cried. I'd have been frustrated, maybe.
Okay.
Depends how the game goes. And yet I sort of tried to back away, and the person was like, no, that's what I needed to hear. I needed to hear that I have value, that other people see the value in what I have to offer, because I struggle to see it. And I think that's one of the things that holds us back so often is we don't see the gifts that we have because we've judged them and we've compared them to someone else. And they're really our gifts in a whole unique way that we have the opportunity to share if we choose. And so I think my thing is we need to share all of our gifts, even the ones that we may not think have the value that they do for someone else.
I like that. There's not, I don't think there's a whole lot more to add.
Okay. Which is fair.
No, I think we threw a lot at people this week.
I would agree.
And what's our topic next week? I don't remember.
I think our topic next week is, it's not sharing our gifts. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's something else around gifts. The whole month is wrapped around gifts. Get it? Wrapped around gifts?
All right, folks. Thanks so much for being a part of our show today. If you have a discovery of the week you'd like to share, whether it's around finding your gifts or something else, please feel free to go to our two group. Whether you're a LinkedIn person, you can go to the Renegade Success Network for Leaders. Or if you're a Facebook person, join us in the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, where there will be a post that will allow you to share your discoveries of the week. It doesn't have to be just around finding your gifts. It can be around something else that you discovered this week. And it might be that one thing that you might have not considered as a really big discovery that might be enormous for someone else, that helps them get unstuck, stop from being frustrated, and helps them move forward, take their next step along their own unique pathway to success. So we look forward to seeing you there. If not, we'll see you Monday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time for our next episode of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and embrace the renegading you. Share those gifts. Share them.
And it's a whole lot easier to embrace the renegade in you if you look for your gifts.
Oh, indeed. I would agree.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a great day. We will see you soon. Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.